specialize in music most people hate. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our website. Let us share the noise with you.
Yo, this is John from Noise Dosage Media, and this episode is brought to you by Begrudgingly Benny. Interested in putting something horrific and grotesque on your next piece of merch? Benny is tucked away in the fiery depths of COVID quarantine, blasting the filthiest of old school death metal and drawing hideous creatures that he is waiting for you to adopt. Go over to Instagram and follow @BegrudginglyBenny and contact him if you would like some really weird original art for your band or label. Super professional, highly recommended. All right, question off the books here. What's some hidden talents that you guys have involved?
All right, I'll let Cody go first.
Hidden talents, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, weird hobbies, man. Give me some.
You got something.
I can't think of anything else on my
Oh,
head.
come on. What do you do?
I have the ability to watch endless amounts of television shows for hours on end.
He's really good at chilling. Also, I've seen him shotgun a 24-ounce beer in about 3 seconds.
That's great. I mean, after watching that music video, man, I could just imagine.
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody was fucking shit-faced. Dude, I wish I was there.
you should have been. Well, yeah. I mean, once we get the shows back, we don't. We like to party, but we don't necessarily make it our number one thing like we used to. We like everything, man. We like to have a good time.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I think I watched a music video, and then like a day later, I went to go see you guys because that's kind of how Rochester rolls, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Oz will bring in a whole bunch of like underground shit, and I'm like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, they sound good. I'm going.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's sick.
Next time you gotta hit the bug jar, man.
Oh yeah, our old band actually hit the bug jar like years and years ago. Place is sick. Yeah.
Photo City's cool, but it has to be a weekend.
Yeah.
There has to be like a huge national because that place is like pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And to a local show, like, right, especially like a weekday show, it's really tough.
Yeah. I mean, that's everywhere.
But
unless you're on like a huge package, But still,
so
you gotta hustle. You can hustle for it.
right. So how many tours have you guys been on?
Jeez. Well, we've done like 2 East Coast Midwest runs. We did a West Coast run. We've gone to Canada a handful of times. We played in Mexico. We've kind of just like bounced around. We've never done the full US. We were going to do that this summer, but obviously that got canceled. We had 3 different runs planned for this summer that all got canceled.
Right.
Which is a huge bummer. Yeah.
Are you guys all dedicated to music full time, or is this like a side thing?
Well, I mean, we all are full-time musicians, but we all work jobs too.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah, we're full on in it. Like, it's what we all like to do.
Hell yeah. So no side projects?
Well, I mean, like 2 of our members also play in bands. Our drummer Matt plays in a band called Conforza, and they're like a tech metal band.
Nice.
They're super sick. You should check them out. Our bass player Dan, actually soon to be our second guitar player, Dan, is making the switch.
Right.
He plays bass in this tech metal band called Pathogenic. They're super cool. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they came to the bug jar and I freaking missed them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they're awesome.
But no, speaking of the drummer thing, I've never heard of a drummer that isn't in 2 bands because like
it's an epidemic.
Yeah, like around here there's like, I don't know, 8 drummers.
Yeah.
So 8 drummers, 20 bands.
Back to hidden talents. I definitely learned. I hear you on the drummers. We'll get back to that in a second, but I just want to let everyone know that I got really good at gardening during the quarantine.
Nice.
Yeah. So my flowers are looking great, and also, I mean, I cooked in a restaurant for 4 years up until when this quarantine started. So that's like something that I do on my own. And I also golf a lot too. That's
really
hidden
golf fan.
I don't have the money for it, but I mean, I do right now because the government.
What's your
and money?
Shit, I used to be in the golf. It works like what's like the lowest score you've gotten so far?
Well, I'm like a a par bogey golfer. Like on like a 9, I can shoot in the 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I totally forgot about that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in middle school and high school, like,
Yeah.
there was a golf team and I never made it to play games. Like, I was just that guy that just
Yeah.
sucked.
No, I hear you. No, it's all I'm not like rich or anything, or like I'm not like the average golfer. Like I show up with long hair and whatever. I don't look like a piece of shit. And like I definitely turn heads, but I can hit the back screen at a driving range. Like I'm not ashamed to say.
You gotta have with golf, you need some serious weight because like when I was playing, like I was 100 pounds, so I couldn't freaking.
I'm pushing like obviously 2 bills, but I play with a regular flex and I can bend the thing around my head. Like
right.
I'd say 7 out of 10 times it'll go straight, and then obviously sometimes you slip and you're in rough shape.
Yeah, exactly.
But what can you do?
I'll never forget. Have you ever watched Happy Gilmore?
Oh, of course, dude. I've seen that movie 100 times, and like the only movie I ever wanted to watch when I was a kid. Because 1, it was all about hockey. 2, it's Adam Sandler, which if you're from Boston area, that's like your boy anyway.
Dude, I'm trying to get him on the podcast.
You should. You should.
Dude, I'm trying to branch out to more than musicians, like actors and like
it's true.
Fucking just random shit.
I got into Cannibal Corpse when I was like, I can't even remember. When I first saw Ace Ventura and I saw that, I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
And I have a brother who's like 6 years older than me, and like he hung out with a bunch of heshers in high school, and he was just like the regular dude hanging out with the long hair guys. And like that's how I got into metal. Was pretty much
right.
Ace Ventura. So it's like you get the cross between musicians and movies. Those crossovers need to happen.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious you say that because I was talking to Mutilatred.
Okay.
And I was like, so what's, you guys talk about Cannibal Corpse a lot, and like, what was your introduction? And they're like, Ace Ventura.
Yeah, man, that's everything.
I'm like, son of a bitch.
That's how it is.
But
yeah.
So what's the meaning behind the figure in your latest music video, Chaos Reigns?
Oh shit. Well, we like obviously did that video on no budget at all. It was kind of like we were like, all right, let's like recreate like we're all like horror movie dudes. Like we we all love Evil Dead and shit. Like so we were like, let's try to do like our own interpretation of like a Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell situation. Like let's try to embody like chaos. So we just like had this weird looking like what's the word? Like cult figure essentially. Like I want some weird fucking like cloak and like obviously wasn't trying to do like corpse paint, but just like fucking I was sitting in the back of my car, like just throwing on a bunch of makeup and shit, and like I found this like wacky like I went to like the joke shop or whatever, and I was like, I want like, can I get like white out just so I look weird as shit. So
So if you had to go back to the beginning of filming that video, what would you have done like different? How would you have made it better?
How would I have made it better? Probably.
Or what would you like to be like brag about with that video? A couple questions.
Oh, the axe, dude. So the axe, we wanted to have like a fresh looking axe, and I remember at the time none of us had an axe because at the time we all live in the city, so we have no use for an axe. Like I like to hike and shit. That's like, I like the outdoors and that, but you don't really hike with like a huge axe. So I remember driving like an hour out of the way to like a Lowe's or something and getting like because fuck Home Depot, by the way. But I went to Lowe's.
Yes, fuck Home Depot.
And they were like, we need an axe, and they're like, okay, here's the one. I remember like just walking out the store with just an axe. Like they were like, that's all you need. We're like, oh, it was an axe and fucking leather
garbage bags.
That's literally what I left the store with, was an axe and like just like gloves. Like pulled away in a Ford Bronco. I'm just kidding. It's not a Ford Bronco, but I remember that was like, actually, if like your question, like if there was anything we could do better, I don't think, I think that's just what it is what it was.
Well, not better, but like, I know as a musician myself, so I'll record something.
Yeah.
and like I'll release it, and then a week later I'm like, fuck, dude, I could have made XYZ better, or like,
Oh.
yo, I could have done a wicked solo or something
Oh,
crazy.
you talking about the music or the music video? I wasn't sure what you were
Either,
talking about.
it don't matter.
Okay. Yeah, like definitely like on like stuff I've done. I've been playing guitar for pretty much as long as this band's been around.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 3 or 4 years. Like seriously. So like definitely on like our prenatal, like kind of like first few things that we did, like I'm like, oh, I could have gone back and if I could go back today, I would totally rewrite that stuff. Add a solo here, but
Right. I've never been a big solo guy,
yeah,
to be honest with you.
I think it's tastefully done. Like I think there's some, obviously I'm not like like Morbid Angel, for example, like the dude doesn't solo too much, but when he does, like it's tastefully done, and that's what it
I
is
think
for me. He does
Yeah.
solo a lot, but it's not like he's not like Yngwie Malmsteen. It's not like solo in your face. Like obviously he just that stuff's kind of drugging, and like the dude's a wild man, and that's the kind of stuff I like. Like it's like
I've seen Yangwei.
yeah, but
He's a fucking crazy son of a bitch.
Trey from Morbid Angel, like is he just all about that tremolo? Like it's just all over the place. Like all the
I think the only thing that sucks about solos is like, okay, how many songs have you heard that like 3/4 of the way of the song, like there's that solo? You know what I'm talking about? Like it's always placed at the same spot.
Oh yeah, no, I
I
like little snippets, like for like bridges, and obviously like you can have a nice slow flowing melody, and obviously like when there's like space for solo, it's going to be there.
right.
But like repeating solos, like we just recorded a new record. Like I don't know what we're going to do with it right now, but we're just kind of like we're
Sitting on it.
It's ours for right now, but I mean we're trying to work with it. But for example, on that, like that's the first thing I've done when I've been like, all right, cool. Like I didn't like, there wasn't too many solos, but there was like, what I like is like little snippets and like lead-ins, like tastefully done, essentially.
Right. Not overdone.
Like you season it a little bit and let the riffs talk for it. Like don't let, the solos are sick, but you got to make sure the riffs are there first, and like the songs are cohesive.
That's like a good example of what I do myself. Like I don't know. I'm like very solidified. Like,
oh yeah,
but I feel like that's a good thing.
It is, yeah. No, and it just depends on like getting more experience as a player and more experience as like in your band, and like how your band is progressing, and like it's like
right,
what you want to use. It's like creating your own arsenal and not trying to force it too much.
Now, are you guys trying to move into a different sound, or are you sticking with the same?
I mean, we've always just been progressing, and like I said, we're just getting more experienced as a band, and like just expanding. Like we're never going to be like we're not like genre. I'm not trying to be like, oh, we're this genre and that's it. Like we're not trying to write the same. We're just trying to expand, and like we all have completely different influences, so like we like that to come forward with what we're doing. So
now are you guys more of a touring band, or more like, for me, I love playing shows, but I love writing music. Like, where do you guys sit? In the middle, or?
We're all over the place. We love to tour. We like to get out as much as we can.
Okay.
And we love to write, and we love to play. We're in the band, not just, to do one thing. We're in the band for all of it,
Right on.
We love to write like our own thing, so.
Now, I ask this to every touring band, just for self-advice for me. I've never toured in my whole life.
Okay.
What are, like 3 things that, like, advice that you would give to a band that hasn't done that before?
Just like
prepare for the worst.
Yeah, prepare for the worst. Prepare that your van's going to die 7 times on a U.S. tour. Like
7?
That happened to our me and Cody's old band. We went on a US tour and it broke down 7 times. So like
every reason under the sun.
So make sure like you have your van all straightened out, or make sure you have like a mechanic in the band that knows, what to do, and obviously if you can't do that, just make sure that, you're all set, and obviously, like when you
Right.
go show to show and you're booking your own thing at the beginning, like
Yeah.
obviously, like it's nice to get a guarantee, but also don't, even if someone says they're going to do something for you, don't like take their word for it. Just plan it out and like set yourself up that if something goes wrong or if everything goes wrong and you know you don't every show is a bummer or a bust. Just be prepared to like roll with
Right.
that, and also make sure that whether you're playing in front of 10 people or like 1,000 people, just play the same set every single night.
Yep.
Bring it as hard as you can, like, because that's what people are going to remember, regardless if there's 10 people there or, like I said, like 1,000 or 100. Like, if you play, as best as you can and with the most intensity that your band can achieve, people are going to remember that more than just being like, oh, this show's a bust, so I'm just going to play and get back in the band. Like, just
do it.
just do it. Like,
Just
do it
fucking
the
do it.
same way you're going to do it every single night.
Right. Now, so say you got a, I don't know, fucking $1,500 budget,
Yeah.
and your band wants to go on tour and stuff like this, and you got to record an album, but
Yeah.
you got to buy merch. Where would you put the money?
Like, are you saying
Like-
you have to record a record, buy merch, and go on tour all at the same time for $1,500?
No, just recording or tour. What I'm asking you is,
Okay.
would you put more money into merch to make the money back, or a better recording?
I think you can space that out. I think most importantly, if you're a band that's beginning the tour, you make sure that you're focusing on your record being like how you'd want it to be. And like, I'd say go from there. I'd say split it, like, honestly, 50-50, like, and like, don't overbook yourself at first. Make sure your record is solid and like you're stoked with it, and make sure to get it into people's hands and into people's ears a little bit before
Right.
you try to get out there. Like, try to push ground game. I remember, like, back when I was younger, it was all forums and like posting stuff on forums. That's still a thing. Like, there's obviously word of mouth that still happens. It's, you
Right.
can do so much with boosting on Facebook.
Yeah, no, I was actually just about to ask you that. Like, do you guys Facebook boost? Like, I don't know. Is it even worth it? Like, I've asked this a couple times.
I guess it really depends. If you're gonna do it, like, I would make sure that it's something that's really important or something that's not going to go away anytime soon.
Correct.
For example, like, if you are an up and coming band and you're about to go on tour, like, and you're going to release something before you go on tour, maybe make one big post with everything and do it once and make sure, so you're not stretching yourself too thin as far as that lane of publicity goes.
Right. Now, I've been told, I don't know if this is true or not, but the second you start paying for promotion,
Yeah.
Facebook kind of like drops you, like doesn't really show your viewers. You know what I mean?
Probably because they want you to continue to buy in. I don't.
Right. And that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, have you guys ran into anything like that?
I mean, we've definitely boosted things in the past. Like, obviously, like I said, when you really want something to get out there and you're trying to come up a little bit. But I haven't noticed that much of a drop off like that.
Okay.
Personally, we're more like Instagram. I'd say, like, throughout all like the social media platforms, I think Instagram is the easiest to engage people.
Yeah, you just throw a freaking hashtag and people actually see it.
Right. Or like, you throw stuff in your story, like you throw the important stuff on your feed. But like, if you really want to connect with people that quick, like, show them what you're doing outside of being in a band, because
Exactly.
music is awesome. And like, you can listen to music all day, but like, when it gets down to it, we're all human beings, I don't mean all Chuck Schuldiner on you or anything, but like, everyone's a human, that comes first, so
yeah,
maybe,
dude, it's funny because like when I started this podcast, I was like, I've talked to pretty big musicians in real life and shit.
Yeah.
But like, just like talking to people that I would never expect to be like, yeah, man, let's do it for like fucking 45 minutes. I'm like, I don't know. It may be not the same person. You know what I mean? Like, I could talk to anybody as of right now.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah, that's cool. That's what it is. Be somebody that everyone can talk to. That's also very important.
Right.
Now, go ahead.
Now, what's Vaulted's message?
Uh, as far as like what we try to accomplish.
Yeah, Cody. Cody, this is a question for you, man.
Yeah.
What's your message in the lyrics?
It's about like social vitriol and personal grievance and grievance with the world and how it's run and with myself and how I handle things. It's kind of just a personal and social battle with the public.
Gotcha. Now, is there something that you always strive to do on recordings?
No, I mean I'm open during recording, kind of for anything to try new things out and whatnot.
Okay. Okay. 3 tips for musicians, that are like becoming a musician. How about that? That's a pretty
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, make sure that you trust everyone in your group, because that obviously it starts with that, make sure that everyone you're, playing in a band with is, someone that you could also see yourself being very close with, because when you go on tour, you learn a lot more
Yeah.
about the people that you're around.
You got their feet in your face.
Yeah. And it's that, I'd say that's number one, is make sure you have a good group of trust. And, it's like, it's kind of like, I don't mean to like bring like a team aspect to it, but like, I know like,
it is though.
Yeah, it is, because it's all across the board, whether somebody's personal morals and how their strive is, and like what their creative drive is. And I'd say, yeah, exactly. That's
Now, how did you guys actually get together?
Well, me and Cody went to college together, kind of, and actually our bass player Dan, we all went to the same college, UMass Lowell, and we our old bands used to play together, and we kind of met each other that way. And an old member of our last band knew Matt very well, so we got to know Matt that way. And so the 4 of us kind of just always knew each other from playing. And we eventually started this band, me and Cody. When we started, Cody was playing drums, and I was obviously just jamming with him on guitar. And then we eventually, lost, not like lost, but like the group that we had started with wasn't necessarily, we didn't really like hash out what the future was for the band. We didn't even know what it was at that point.
Right.
So then we kind of like, me and Cody sat down. We're like, all right, what could we do? Like, let's just keep pushing this, because we've done this before. So Cody switched from drums to vocals, and then I asked Matt to play drums, and then Dan had already been in it from the beginning. So the 4 of us just kind of like started to figure our thing out. Like, Cody started to do vocals, and I'm starting to do stuff with the guitar. This is, 3 or 4 years ago. So we had
Go ahead. Now, when you guys started, like, what was your main goal? Just like be writing a record, or?
I mean, it was like everything. Like we wanted to do, what we're still trying to do. Like, we wanted to be creative together. We wanted to have an outlet for what we like to do. And like, we wanted to travel, and we wanted to, expand our personal experiences. And we're still trying to do that.
Right on. How about bands that you want to tour with in the future?
Oh man. Geez, probably definitely like Cannibal Corpse, for sure. Probably, geez, there's so many. Like, I'd love to tour with like At the Gates. I think that band.
Nice. I've been trying to get a hold of them.
Yeah, every time I've seen them play, it's always mind blowing. And like,
I freaking missed them last year.
Yeah, they're always a good time. Anytime I've seen them, they're super fun. Obviously, like, there's bands like Morbid Angel, which are obviously bands that we all love. Yeah, it's like easy to say, all these bands that we love to tour with. Some of these bands aren't really, touring as much or being more selective, but there's still some of those bands that have been around forever that we would love to tour with.
Now, how about a band that I would never guess? Like a guilty pleasure for the whole band.
Oh, would it have to be? Oh, dude, you know what? Faith No More would be a sick band to tour with. I know it's like not necessarily in our realm, but yeah, I think it would be sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a band we all love a lot. Like, that's another band that like really pushed and was super creative and worked at the right time, and they're still out there doing their thing, and they have so much different music and different influences and stuff. I'd definitely say that'd be a sick band to tour with.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think of questions for Cody here. What's the best thing that's ever happened to you on tour?
Best thing that's ever happened to me on tour. I don't know. Every tour is so different and fun that it's kind of hard to pinpoint that. I mean, I think in general, one of my favorite things about touring in general is the people you meet while you're on tour. I've met people on the road that I've had long lasting relationships for over a decade now.
Nice.
So I think that's definitely one of my favorite things about tour.
Now, what's your favorite local band that you've ever met?
Local band?
Yeah, like on the road, something a band that really like turned your head.
Oh man, remember when we played with Culture Abuse? Like, I'm just kidding. Our old band played with Culture Abuse in like a little like art space like 10 years ago. It was so
Nice.
fun.
There used to be an art place in
Yeah.
Syracuse that hosted shows, but they freaking closed.
Probably like Strike to Survive in our old band that we met. Remember when we had like such a good time?
Yeah,
Those dudes.
totally.
So our old
Right
band
on.
toured with Strike to Survive on the West Coast, and a few of their members went on to start Culture Abuse, and those dudes have always been, great people, and like, with lifelong friendships, that you just meet, and then we see them when they're in town, regardless, back and forth, and like we'll run with them sometimes when we're on the road too. So it's cool to meet bands like that you play in like a little house, and then they're years down the road they're doing big things, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, exactly. Now, are you guys hitting the road right when you get to go from Corona, or are you kind of hesitant?
I mean, obviously, I think it's hesitancy at first. We're not trying to play anything immediately. Obviously, like when bands start getting back on the road, like we'll see. Like we are lucky to have like a booking agent. This dude Aaron Gray is a very nice dude. He works with heavy talent. Like we pretty much, we work with him, and if he's got something available, by the time things start getting to go, we'll definitely do it. But I know that every band's going to want to tour, and they'll probably be.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
dude, that's been another huge topic I've talked about.
Yeah, it's like when we're getting back, when everyone's back on the road.
Yeah, dude. Like I've talked to, let me think here, Sanguisugabog.
Oh, cool.
They were going on tour, fucking shit at the fan.
Yeah. We were going out with a band that we were like really stoked to go out with, but it never got announced. But still, it's just like stuff like that. You're like, damn, that would have been such a good time.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, there's been so many bands where they're like, yeah, I had a tour next week, and I'm like, fuck, dude, there's gonna be like a surge.
Oh yeah.
When this all happens,
lot of good music.
I feel like it's either gonna be a lot of good music or just a lot of like, I don't know. Yeah. People have so much time on their hands,
Right. It could be forced. It could be, because I think the best part about writing is like most of the time when you go into the studio, I don't know if not every band does this, but I mean, I wouldn't prefer to do this anymore, but like you kind of go into the studio, like you don't have everything done, but you kind of just go in and you're like, fuck, I have to do something. Like we have to put something together. And that turns out to always be your best stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like sometimes it's a little too forced.
I've tried that before. It don't go so well.
Sometimes it's hit or miss, like I've never done this either. Like we were in the studio for a whole month. We booked a whole month in the studio and kind of just like went in with a loose idea. And like we pre-pro'd for like a minute, like a couple weeks before, and like got some skeletons down. And then we went in and just kind of like, I was there for almost the whole month and
crushed it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's sick. I'm very happy with it. It's like the first piece of music that I've never been like cringe, that I'll never cringe when I listen to it. So I personally, that's good for me. I hope everyone else thinks the same way. I'm not expecting everyone to, but that's a
thank God I never did that shit, man.
Yeah.
I never went in that rabbit hole when I was younger.
Yeah.
I always listened to like psychedelic rock.
Oh man, hell yeah.
So
I actually roomed, speaking of psychedelic rock, in college, I roomed with this dude who played in that band Elder. You know that band?
I do not. I'll have to look them up.
Yeah, they're killing it right now. They've been around forever.
How do you spell Elder?
Yeah, elder, just like you.
Okay, let me. I guess see a picture now. Curious. Okay. Oh shit! I think I know this logo.
Yeah, they're sick. They're really,
Right on.
If you dig that psych rock stuff, they're way ahead of it.
I used to be huge into it,
Hell yeah.
but now I'm into like Doom and shit like that. So,
Oh yeah.
so I always like to ask this at the end. Let me think here. Bands that I should talk to and albums I should check out.
You should talk to Pathogenic, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's David and Dan. Actually, all those dudes are super nice. They all know a lot. David actually is a vocal coach too. He worked with us a little bit before he went in. They just put out a new record too. I think it's called, what's it called? Might just be self-titled. I don't know. But definitely check out Pathogenic's new record and check out Conforza, both of our brother sister bands.
Yeah.
Pathogenic and Conforza just put out new records. I would say to check those out for sure.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything to promote? What do you got?
Nothing. We're just sitting on it. We don't know what to do with it yet.
How about merch? You guys still have that?
Yeah, we put out some new merch. Yeah, we have like we work with Downright Merchandise that we put out a couple new shirts just for, pretty much like influence from the EP that we put out last year. So you can find that on Downright Inc. You can find our store in there. Yeah, as of right now, we just, we're sitting on music.
It's good though.
Yeah, we're
sit on it, man.
Really excited. We're trying to, find someone to work with because we haven't done that yet as a band. We've put out our own thing and been pretty DIY up until now, but we're trying to, we're throwing our line out there and seeing what we can.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like the issue with bands is like everybody rushes to like release. It's like you take all this time to record an album. Yeah. And then they just drop it on YouTube, fucking don't even share it. You know what I mean? Like,
we've fallen victim to that for sure.
Yeah, well, me and myself, like, spent fucking like a couple of years on an album. I'm like, all right, shared. All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Fuck. But.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, another band, I want to just say this. Ever since you asked the question, it keeps popping in my head. I would love to tour with Godflesh. I think that would be
Godflesh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a sick band. They've been around forever. That's like an old earache band. Obviously, one of the dudes was in he was on the Scum record by Napalm Death, but this is like way back.
I actually just bought that CD like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I
So
think he played guitar. Oh, another band I'd love to tour with is Carcass too.
Oh,
Hit me with all this stuff, and this is coming back to me now. Because there's so many bands. Like, that's the worst question is like when someone's like, "Oh, what's your favorite band?" You're like, I don't know this," and then you're like, "Oh shit,
what? Dude, I've asked a few questions where people don't answer. Like, they sit on the question for like 45 seconds. I'm like, let's go back to it, man.
No, yeah, that's why I just kind of like spewed stuff out there, and like this stuff just keeps hitting me. I don't want anyone to. I wouldn't tour with just 3 bands. I'll tour with anyone. It's like we love eclectic shit too. There's obviously like those bands that everyone will want to tour with.
Right.
Yeah, stuff keeps popping in my head for sure.
Fuck yeah, Have you ever listened to Black Tomb?
No, I haven't.
Fuck.
Where are they out of?
They're Doom. Oh. They broke up, but
where are they from?
I don't even fucking know. Like, to be honest with you.
What era are they from?
They just released an album like 3 years ago, from my knowledge.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I'll send you a link.
You should.
But this one's going to make it online, let me tell you.
That's awesome. I'm stoked on it. I'm glad that we went there. Thanks to 7-Eleven for... I've had an Android phone forever, and now I have an iPhone, and they're not cross-compatible, so...
It's all right.
I've got no use for I'm gonna burn these now. I have no use.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned my lesson not to do fucking phone interviews anymore.
Oh yeah. I mean they're thick, but that's how it used to be done,
Yeah, well, it's just super complicated. Cause like phones just drop off. randomly, and then it ruins the whole recording.
And it's signal based, the towers, whatever.
So I don't know how. I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
But all right, I'll try to have this up soon because I fucked you guys all
You
up.
did not. That's all good. This is
So
just is what it is. We'd love to talk again. Maybe
yeah, man.
for quarantine. I don't know if you do if you check back in with any bands, but
I do. I've been trying to get with bands that release an album. I want to talk to like specific shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd love to just whatever, just go on and on about this new thing that we have. But we're in that weird spot where we're not on the label at the time, and we're just sitting on this record, and we can't don't have any touring plans. I mean, we would have been able to talk your ear off about all the stuff we wanted to do, but we're in the same boat that every other band is.
Yep.
And it's a time of reflection and re-education for everybody.